Good evening. My name is Pastor Stephen Andre Nelson, and tonight I'm going to be reading from John 19:26 to 43. Woman, behold your son. The seven last words of Jesus Christ as Jesus hung dying on the cross. Near the cross of Jesus stood his mother. His mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Cleopas, and Mary Magdalene. And Jesus saw his mother there, and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby. He said to her, Woman, here is your son. And to the disciple, here is your mother. From that time on, the disciple took her into his home. John 19:25-27. Jesus tenderly provided for his mother at his death. It is probable that Joseph, her husband, was long since dead, and that her son Jesus had supported her. Now that he was dying, what will become of her? He saw her standing by and knew her cares and griefs. And he saw John standing not far off. So he established a new relationship between his beloved mother and his beloved disciple. He said to her, Woman, behold your son, for whom from now on you must have a motherly affection. And to John, behold your mother, to whom you must pay a sonly duty. And so from that hour never to be forgotten, the disciple took her to his home. Notice the care Christ took of his dear mother. He was not so much taken up with sense of his sufferings as to forget his friends. All who concerns he bore. His mother, perhaps, was so taken up with his sufferings that she did not think of what will become of her. But he did. He had no other way to provide for his mother than by his interest in a friend, which he does here. He calls her woman, not mother, not out of any disrespect to her, but because mother would have been a cutting word to her who was already wounded with grief. He directs her to look upon John as her son. Behold him as your son, as thy son, who stands there by you, and behold her as a mother to him. This was an honor put upon John, and a testimony both to his prudence and to his finality. If he who knows all things and had not known that John loved him, he would have not made him Mary's guardian. It is a great honor to be employed for Christ and to be entrusted with any of his interests in the world. He also was a great responsibility for John, but cheerfully accepted it and took her into his own home, not objecting the trouble nor expense nor his obligations to his own family. Excuse me, nor the ill will he might contracted by it, according to the focus. I'm sorry. What I'm reading here is that even at the time of Jesus' death, that he took great pride in caring for his mother and for John, his disciple. It's amazing how much Jesus suffered and how much faith that he had in the Lord God above. That he knew what he had to do, and he wasn't angry and he wasn't afraid. He did it with an open heart. And what I'm finding here is that he loved his mother and he loved his wife, and it's amazing what we can learn through sacrifice. And I find that, and this is very, 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 very special to me, because I find that Jesus loved so much that God loved us so much that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall have everlasting life. And the key here that I'm learning is sacrifice. Jesus sacrificed his life for us. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't discriminate. He said, come unto me as you are, and I'll make you anew. but it was through sacrifice. And I try to do that on a daily basis, and it tells me why we must do what we must do to please, appease God. You know, it's amazing in the world today what we're going through, how we sometimes forget about each other, how we forget to pray and love and reach out and touch each other. And Jesus never did for his disciples or his mother or Mary Magdalene. I'm saying he never forgot about what his obligations was, even until his death, as he hung on the cross and died. And then at the end of it all, he said, Father, excuse me, it is done. And he had no regrets. So I say to you lastly, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And never disrespect, never disregard your mother or your mother's mother or your mother's sister. In God's name, I ask these things. Amen. Have a good night.